flung myself on the floor and she was like, what's going on? Just the amount, like, people calling us crying. I feel really naked and really weird.
What a legend.
Yeah, what a legend.
Yeah.
And thank you, Nan.
Today's guest is a published author and podcaster. She was the first person to be signed to John Legend's book publishing imprint Get Lifted, and can name Pedro Pascal as a fan of hers, which I want to talk about actually. So she's recently made the move from Margate to London and is a huge jewellery lover. Please welcome Liv Little.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
I wrote down, I was looking and doing some research. Pedro.
Yeah,
holding your book.
That was very much like a Margate orchestrated situation.
So was it real?
Oh yeah, it was real.
Great.
Of course it's real. Yeah. No, I don't know how to use like Photoshop, so it's definitely real. But yeah, like a friend of mine in Margate, like knows him and basically got him a copy of the book. So that was
good.
Nice. Yeah.
So good. Okay, so Liv, you've brought in your most significant piece of jewellery, or some of, because you've just made a move, which we'll talk about. Yeah,
we've got like maybe half of what I might find. There's all in boxes.
This is fine. Let's set the scene for our fashion and jewellery lovers. Let's just talk through what we're wearing, because I think those that are listening can't see us. It's nice to visualise.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've got a light. It's not black. It's very much bright red. I've got a red aligned waistcoaty thing on, some jeans, and I've piled on the gold jewellery as per.
Yeah.
Liv, you've got
I've also got a line top because obviously we're matching.
Yeah.
And I've got a selection of rings on, a lot of like vintage rings on my hands, loads of gold just in one side of my ear. I don't know. I don't have any piercings on the side. And then I've got a bunch of necklaces, including actually probably like 3 out of 4 or 5 of Daisy.
Yeah. And some stripy trousers on, which I love.
And stripy trousers. Yeah.
Really nice. So you have literally, almost literally just come out of the moving van, moved from Margate to London. What? Yeah. And this is back to London.
Yeah, back to London. Back to South London as well, which is important.
What inspired the move back?
Yeah, when I was moving to Margate, I think I was definitely in like desperate need of a slowdown and of a break, and I was quite burnt out, and I really needed to just like reset completely. I guess like in some cases I was probably like running to like a fresh start. And Margate has been like such a beautiful place to be. The community is absolutely incredible. But I think for me, I never view a specific move or being in a specific place as having to be like forever. And so when we moved, I didn't think I would necessarily be there forever. And one day maybe I'll be somewhere more tropical. But it was lovely to be close to the sea. I think the sea was a big part of what drew both like my partner and I, and I think a lot of people that have moved down. And honestly, we've made some of just like the best friends and the best people, some of whom have already like come to see us in our new place. Wow. And we've just gotten there. So yeah, it's been really, really beautiful. And I think just time for like a fresh start, or not a fresh start, but time to be in like a different headspace. I think I'm ready to be like a little bit more in the mix again. And also I'm excited to be able to like meet people and not feel like I'm cramming things into one day on the one day I have in London. And like a lot of my work, I'm a creative, and I work for myself. So a lot of it is quite solo, but like a big part of, how I get my inspiration and joy is actually from getting to go out and meet lots of different kinds of people. And so I think, it's good to be back in the mix, back in the city a little bit, say hello. It's been 3 years. I'm like, I disappeared a little bit and now I'm coming back. But yeah, it just felt like the right thing. And again, I don't know if I'll be in, if I was going to be anywhere, it would be South London, but whether I'll be in London for the rest of my life, hopefully not.
And you were in South London before, right?
South London before. So it's like very much returning back to home. And I think all my mates, family, friends, like everyone is there. My cousin, my grandma, who's like 90 this year, like everyone is close by. So it also feels, I don't know, like I lost my dad 2 years ago. And I think also that kind of gives you a desire to be very like close to your family. And I am like a mummy's girl as well. So being like a 20-minute drive away up the road is nice, just to be able to pop in more easily.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to London.
Thanks.
Now you know where we are. You can come and see us anytime.
Exactly.
Anytime
I'm in Hand Garden.
Exactly. So we briefly mentioned the book that Pascal was holding.
Mm-mm.
You have written films, TV shows.
I'm in development on TV shows. Nothing that is out there in the world yet. I'm developing a feature film with BBC Film. I'm also working on an original workplace like show. And I've got like a few different things that we're just like feeling out at the moment, and we'll see. I've also like written a short film that BBC Film made last year and wanting to do a bit more like directing. Also, I've got another book that I'm due to be writing. So like a nice mix of stuff. But on the TV and film, I'm definitely early days with a lot of projects, but it feels really exciting to be doing something new.
Amazing. How did it all start?
How did it all start? Well, if I throw it back, when I graduated, I went and did I did what do you call them? Like a production trainee scheme, in television with Channel 4. And so I worked at this company called Lion Television. It was all factual TV. They make like a lot of, they make horrible histories, but they also make like The Truth About Sleep. And like, I worked on a doc about Mark Bolan, like lots of different kind of factual stuff, some science-based, some history-based. Anyway, I did that for a year. That was kind of like my training and my entry point. But at the same time, I was doing Galdem, like alongside it. And then like in those years that followed, I always, in the early days of Galdem, always had a job, because that wasn't yet like a job, like a full-time. It felt like a full-time job, but it wasn't paying as a full-time job. And so I always had other jobs. So I worked in like the BBC and did some short form and commissioning and different things. So my return to TV, even though it's now in like the drama space, like I had those foundations from like the age of 22, 23. So it feels good to be stepping back into that part of myself, and it feels really exciting. And I'm working with amazing people on ideas that are just that feel really, 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 really good.
Amazing.
And I love it. And it feels like I found the right thing to be doing alongside kind of novel writing, which is also in the fiction space. So it's all kind of like very much connected, even if they're slightly different mediums. So it feels good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your novel, Rosewater, which launched last year.
It did.
Is that right?
It did. I think it was last year,
where are we?
2023.
24. It was 2023.
Yeah.
And you are with John Legend's book publishing
company. So it was the first title in his imprint, and then I'm also published by an amazing woman called Charmaine Lovegrove and her publishing imprint, Dialogue Books here, and they're both like incredible kind of like teams, and it felt like a really kind of natural fit. And like I got to work with publishers who just really understood like what I wanted to do with the book, but also pushed and challenged me in all of the right ways. So it was an incredible like combination, and really cool to be a part of not only dialogue books continuing to grow and shift, but also Get Lifted Books and their kind of imprint at the beginning stages of what it is. Yeah. So it's been great.
Because it was records. He started it like a publishing records company
they
before.
have like a production company, and now they also have like a like TV production company, TV and film production company, and then they also have like this book imprint that they do with a company called Zando. So they've got collabs with like different people like Sarah Jessica Parker and Lena Waithe and stuff, and I'm under his kind of banner. So
must have been pretty cool to be the first book to be.
It was, and like speaking to them about the themes, which are universal. I mean, obviously it is a love story that centers like queer Black women, but like the themes of love, of loss, of belonging, of figuring out your place, of like, family history, like all of those things are universal. And so when we did like our first round of press, and I went over there and we did a kind of in-person event, me, him and the rest of the team, and also we were doing some like video content around it, like those were the themes that were being drawn out, you know. And I love that there is like a specificity to the story, but also that there's a clear sense that whoever you are, wherever you are, like the feelings and the themes, like the heart of it are universal. It might look slightly different depending on who you are, where you're coming from, but love is like something that we can all definitely make sense of.
Yeah, I recognize that, definitely. I'm always fascinated by like people's writing processes. I just interviewed someone last year, and she was like, during the day I just procrastinate, and then 3 a.m. in the morning I am like on it. So like, how is do you have like a particular time, a space, a place you need to be, a headspace, or are you kind of just a total pro
No, I'm not a total pro.
Talk to us about the journey of writing.
That's interesting. I mean, it really depends. I feel like first novel, you have this like propulsion, like just to get it. Well, for me anyway, to get it done. So it actually happened quite quickly. And it was a quite challenging period in my life. Like I was looking after an ill parent, but it was like a real space of joy. So I just got it done in whatever moment I had for myself. I think when it comes to like kickstarting a project, I need like some space and some clarity. But then once I've kickstarted it and I'm in it and I really like know the world and the characters and what it is that I want to say, I can probably, you know, do it here, there and everywhere. I guess also I try not to like say like this is how I do it and this is what would work for everyone, because I feel like we all have like different ways that our brain processes like information and like make sense of things and like different moments when we focus the most. So I just try to observe how I'm feeling and like modify the task accordingly if I can. Of course, there's times when you're on deadline and you just have to get that shit done, even if you're not feeling like you're in the zone, like you have to make it work. But I think now I try to like, if I'm not in a headspace where, if things are too hectic and too chaotic, I might try and do like more research-based tasks where I'm like watching or reading or like being inspired. And then when I've got more focused time, do the bulk of the writing. But honestly, like, I've been writing on trains for the past 3 years, you know, and actually I quite kind of love writing on a train because no one can distract you. That's one thing I will kind of miss. Sure. And the views are quite nice actually on that London to Margate journey. But yeah, I actually have gotten quite a lot of stuff done in that period. I was like really fortunate to have a little office space in our house in Margate, which I don't yet have because we're about to embark on this crazy renovation. So I'm looking around the boxes and I'm like, okay, you're going to just have to find somewhere else outside of this house to sit and write. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, it just fluctuates completely.
Yeah. I always find that when I'm on the train, I think it's just you're forced to sit there.
Yeah.
And you can't
There's
drive.
You're not. To do.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like occasionally, if I'm on the train late on the way back, I'll definitely watch like Real Housewives or something. But like on the way down, I make the most of it and get work. But the last train back at like 11, I'm like, who am I kidding? Just have an hour and a half of like something fun and trashy.
Can we talk about your house renovations then?
Yeah.
Do you have a plan in mind?
We do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we do. We kind of like we basically kind of got some plans drawn up before we like bought the flat, because we wanted to know that we could like lay it out in a way that was going to work. But we've obviously there's loads of stages you got to go through. You got to get building regs, you got to do all of this stuff. But it's a really beautiful old house that was built in like between 1890 and 1906.
Oh wow.
And so we want to like respect like the integrity and like history of the house, but also like put our touch on it.
What is your touch?
I don't know. We're people that like color, we like patterns, we like art, we like design. We do want it to feel peaceful, but we're not afraid of like our Margate house was very colorful. But with that, it was a 30s house. So we kind of, the furniture kind of reflected that. So this time we're actually excited to do things like completely differently.
Yeah.
I'm excited and I think I want to really take my time. You learn a lot when you've done it once.
Sure.
Like how not to rush and like to take your time and to find great people who are gonna like not talk down to you because you're a woman and like, you know what I mean, like, so I'm just taking my time to scope out who the good people are. We've already found a couple of lovely
that's so people. True it's so true because just finding suppliers and builders and stuff that actually
I had people that were like they're talking to you like or they're like, oh god, like the classic thing is like, oh, do you have to go and speak to your husband about it? And I'm like, well, I actually like I have a wife to be, but whatever. But also like we had someone come in the other day and he said like, who makes the decisions? And I said, we make decisions together. You know,
it's
like,
such a male thing to ask though, isn't it?
Crazy.
Yeah.
But like, it's just that kind of stuff. And not all of them mean it in like a horrible way, but like they just, some of them are hostile and some of them are not hostile, but they're just like, oh, what is this that two young women making decisions about something? Yeah. So it's going to be a journey, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Amazing. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you.
I'm excited. Are you going to share any of it?
We are. We did it with Margate and like because Margate is so small, I think people kind of clocked which one our house was.
Okay.
And so that freaked me out a bit and I took a lot of stuff away, but then I think you just have to be sensible sensible with like how you share
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
it was really fun, and like people really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So I think we definitely will do that with this, but I'll be more safe about how. But yeah, for sure.
You should check out, this isn't just a plug so we can edit this out, but Colours of Ali, if you've heard of her.
No.
She's got a little shop in Hackney.
Okay.
And she's really into stripes. So basically, any color stripe you go
Oh
into her
my
showroom,
god!
and
Maybe I have. I love a
She's
stripe.
done so many different things. She's done the curtains for all of the Rixo stores.
Oh wow!
And we did a pop up, and she created these tablecloths for us in yellow and white
gorgeous.
stripes. But it's really fun to just go in there and like mix and match different stripes.
Yeah,
and checks
I
and stuff.
really want some stripe. Like I need some stripes.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're just fun. They just always make me smile.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, good.
I know you've been a fan of Daisy for a while. I can
am.
see how long you've been wearing the necklace around your neck.
You keep saying that. I'm like,
sorry.
I'm like, is it that faded? It is quite faded.
Well, I kind of feel bad, but it's because you never take it off.
No, I
right?
don't. No, I should.
Is
I'm
that
just quite lazy.
Is that the first piece of Daisy you got? Or was it your Capricorn necklace?
It might be the Was it the Capricorn or was it the? Well, it was one of these two, I think. Yeah.
Or it could have been you've got the goddess.
I've also been wearing that the whole. That I never take.
And we don't even sell that anymore. So
wow.
maybe that could have been the first piece.
Put it on eBay.
Yeah. Actually, my friend
an original
texted me yesterday saying my son's just ripped off my necklace, which is that one. Can I get another one? I was like, no, you can't. I can't even help you out.
Oh no!
But actually, I'll tell her to check out your vintage.
Yeah. It's staying around my neck. But yeah, it would have been one of the lettering kind of necklaces that I got. Yeah.
I love the fact that you never take it off.
I don't know. I also like, I don't know if it's like a Caribbean thing, but I like layers of gold stuff, you know? I'm like, my family's like part Guyanese. So like one of the pieces that I've got is not part, but I'm half Guyanese, part Guyanese, on my mum's side. My dad's side Jamaican, but I've got, one of the pieces I've got is like, Guyanese gold. So yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
We'll come on to it. Well, that's a nice little segue in. Actually, before we dive into your pieces, I ask everyone this. Why do you think jewellery is so important to people? What is it about jewellery that makes it so important?
I guess it's an extension of your personal style. I also feel like if you're into like vintage or like, I don't know, passing jewellery down, like it has a story, it has a history, like again, we'll talk about this in a bit, but both my partner and I like chose like secondhand or vintage, whatever, engagement rings. I just feel like they have more character. Also, I feel like sometimes those things are really just tend to be long lasting, you know, and like made in a different way. And so that tends to be, I mean, I kind of mix in the old with the new, to be fair, but I have a lot of pieces that are like that. And Margate was actually a really good place for really banging secondhand jewelry, and also very incredible like designers, one of whom's necklace Ruby Jack I'm wearing here, and then we'll also talk about another one. But yeah.
All right. Well, should we dive in?
Yeah.
Where shall we start?
We could start with should we start with this sunny
I
necklace?
love it. Yeah, you can pick
It's
it up.
really fun.
Pick it up and describe it for those who are listening.
So it's like a quite hefty, quite chunky, like sun face necklace. Like
in that kind of very typical like 90s. If you think about a 90s sun, it's like that, I suppose.
And basically, so this is like a Margate based jewelry designer, and she collabed, I think, on this with a like sculptor or something to make the like faces, a sculptor that she'd wanted to work with for a long time. And it's just iconic, and like really you can wear, I don't know, just the plainest thing, or you can be, you know, sometimes just also incredibly extra and have this with loads of other stuff on and look very, very blingy. But I love it. It's beautiful. It is like it is very sculptural. Like it feels like
it's
wearing
gorgeous.
a piece of art, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's something that I will cherish and keep with me for a long time.
So you got it in Margate.
Got it in Margate, yeah. And I would like, she made a limited amount of these, so it feels nice to know that as well. That, you know, there'll be like a handful of people that will have them, and that's kind of it. But just quite, don't know, kind of iconic.
How do you feel when you wear it?
I feel fab. I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like and people always compliment it as well because it's quite like a chunky piece. But it's a good way to dress things up as well if you're feeling like, I don't know, you're tired, you can't be
that
asked,
is going to make you
just
feel
want
powerful when
it
you
does.
put that
and
on.
it's like it's like heavy kind of.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know you've got it on.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does it do up? So it's like one long chain and then it's got that
And it
clip
just clips.
there.
Yeah.
I really love that.
And it's, I know, honestly, it's beautiful. And like, yeah, I love it. I love the like where it sits. Yeah, I think it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that jewelry can just make you feel a certain way.
Also, like, it's like with me, if I ever didn't have like my gold hoops in or something, I feel really naked and really weird. Try it on. Put it on. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good with this as well. It looks good with the red.
With all the red, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it
that
so much.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a trip to Margate.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go to next?
Shall we go to? We'll go to my great grandma's. Is it in here?
Yes.
Where is it? This is like a really simple plain band, but I really love the shape. It kind of mirrors the shape of a lot of the rings that I have that I like. They're kind of like
domed, is it?
Almost domed, yeah. And this is, I mean, there is some sort of engraving in there that is like definitely faded out, but this will probably be what, like, my nan's 90. This is probably like 100.
And that was her engagement ring?
No, it was her mum's engagement ring.
It was your nan's mum's engagement ring?
Yeah.
Wow.
So my nan's 90.
Oh my God.
Right? And she and her mum would have got married probably quite young.
Yeah.
So this is over 100 years old, this ring.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And my nan gave it to me for my 30th birthday, which was this year. And yeah, it's just like a very simple Guyanese gold, which is like a very high quality kind of like gold. But most importantly, it's the history, it's the significance of the fact that this belonged to, I never met my great grandma, but like the woman who made all the women and all the people in our family, you know, the head. And she had a really beautiful relationship with her mum. And so to have, she was called Queenie, which is also an iconic name. So to have Queenie's engagement ring as, you know, I mean, I'm wearing it as a ring kind of like in a stack, but to have that as a ring, well, I was going to have it as my engagement ring, but it doesn't match the shape of the, I was going to have it as my wedding band, but it doesn't match the shape of the engagement ring that I have.
Sure.
But I'm never going to take it off, and I love it, and it's gorgeous, and I feel like, wow, the history, you know, that this was on her finger, because I think my nan got this when her mum died, and I kind of love that about my nan as well. She's like not waiting to not be here for us to like wear her jewelry and stuff. My sister has some earrings of hers, like she wants us to use these things and enjoy them while we're all here, and I feel like, you know, it makes her happy to know as well that she's passed this on to us. Like, my mum doesn't really wear much jewelry, so like luckily for me, that's also why.
That's what I was going to say. It skipped past your mum.
Me and my sister wear like a lot of jewelry. So she's 18. So you got it because you're the oldest. Yeah. So our first grandchild. So
nice. That's so
but
special.
It's like really, really lovely, and just it was a perfect fit as well, which was just so nice. Which is a kind of it's nice to know that you were the same size, ring size as Queenie. Yeah, Queenie. That's exactly. So nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. She had so many children, Queenie, as well. So how many? I'm like, I should know I think it's 14. Wow. Is it 4? I think it's 14. And my nan is like in the youngest pocket. Incredible. Yeah. So the youngest 4 she's in. Yeah. Wow. Which is crazy. Yeah. Oh, what a legend. Yeah. What a legend. Yeah. And thank you, Nan, for that. Because like she was, I'm not like a gift for gift's sake kind of person, but like I don't need more things. But like something like this that has real value, I love that so much. Definitely. It's like, I mean, that will kind of segue us onto our engagement ring, but it's also, it was nice with that to be led by just what I like, not what you feel like you have to have for an engagement ring as well. And both of ours are not like super traditional. But we're also not going to have we're like 2 queer black women. We're also like, our union is not super traditional or whatever. Like, and our wedding won't be super traditional either. So I just feel like you got to do what feels good for you. Well, let's talk about this engagement ring then. And I want to hear the story. Well, we all do. I love this engagement ring. It's from my favorite shop in favorite pawn shop, like secondhand shop in Margate. And hers is from another one in Margate. And I mean, it was very impromptu. We kind of like, we were like just chilling one day, and we always go in the shops and see if there's rings that we like. And she saw one that she loved, and I was like, "Do you want it?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay," but it like that one I did actually, they did a really amazing job actually on hers. So she saw the original one, but she didn't know what the final one was going to look like because the band was really thin, and I wanted to like add a few touches to the band. So we kind of fused like the band of one ring with the face of another, both all vintage. And they did a beautiful job. Like, I'll show you a picture at some point. So that was still like an element of surprise. And then we walked down and I saw this ring that I loved. I'm quite decisive as well, so I don't need to look at something for ages to know that I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's not small. It's like,
can you describe it for those listening?
Yeah, I think it's sapphire. Is it sapphires? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of black, almost kind of like navy kind of stone, and then it's got like three stones going vertically. No,
vertically.
Vertically.
No, horizontally.
Horizontally. With
and they're claw set, right?
Yeah. With and then they've got like tiny little diamonds like around each one of them.
So nice.
It's like, I literally love it. And I think we're going to try and get some, because both of ours have got interesting shapes, try and get like some bands which kind of mirror the shapes and maybe like match or something. But yeah, for me, I loved it, and she knew I loved it, and I knew she loved it. And then she proposed to me in, it wasn't even that long ago, like a couple of weeks ago in Lyon, in her favorite spot. It's where her like best friend is from. We went on a cute little holiday to see him and to hang out. And I think they kind of had planned it the day before they were hanging out. I had no idea, even though we had like seen the rings we wanted. Just because we're in such a chaotic period in our lives, I was like,
so had you also bought her ring as well? Did you already have it?
By that point they had to send it away to get done. So that was we probably picked them like a month or two ago or something. But I didn't know if she had got mine yet, like fully, or like, you know, I didn't know all of the things. And honestly, because when you're in the state of moving or preparing to move, that's all you can think about. So I was not thinking anything. Genuinely was so surprised. She took me to this gorgeous spot where you could overlook the whole of the city. It was gorgeous. Very relaxed, just us. I'm like a low-key kind of girl. I want it to be like cute and intimate. We just were sitting on a blanket, had a coffee, and then she just started saying all this lovely stuff about me, and I started crying, but I still didn't know what was happening. I was just like happy. But we affirm each other quite often, so I was not like, again, I didn't know. It was like the moment. And then yeah, she asked, and well, before that I kept saying, you're never going to top this, like save this for the proposal, but still had no clue, which is funny because whilst I'm sobbing. And then she asked, and I was genuinely so surprised, also a bit mortified because we were outside, so I think I flung myself on the floor and she was like, what's going on? But there were like two people around who were like eating a sandwich around the corner, unbothered. But I was like, can they see us? But yeah, and it was just really lovely. I mean, we've been together for like 7 and a bit years.
Nice.
And I think, you know, it was maybe inevitable that we would do it. I think, you know, thinking about what does our wedding look like? What does a queer union look like? How do we do it in a way which feels, you know, not like it's super traditional, like, I don't know, trying to do all of the very like heteronormative traditions that we often see, which I think is so valid, like whatever it is that people want. But I think for us, we're just trying to think like, what are all the ways we want to make it feel like it's distinctly us? So it's fun. And yeah, we're defo going to do it soon, and we'll defo do it in a way which is fun and in the city, and like just feels like an extension of, you know, our love and you know, just a party, you know. Where it's uncomplicated and it's just enjoyable, and we're gonna do some engagement drinks like in my mum's garden, and just keep it like just keep it really cute and what it should be about. And at the end of the day, we are renovating a house, so we're like, we can't be crazy anyway.
I love that, and I think that's so true. Me and my other half are engaged, and we
congrats.
Haven't. Thank you. We've engaged for about 3, nearly 4 years now.
Is it?
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost that we can't really work out what we want to do, because you can get so wrapped up in look at that. As soon as you're just saying venue, looking at a venue, and you've got to pay this. I don't want any of it. No. It's just like coming back to like exactly what do we want? What is this celebration about? It's about us and our children, and just celebrating that.
Just do something fun with friends and family.
Exactly,
and
it's a party and everyone wants to celebrate us, you guys. People want to just be there.
That's it. That's
high five this.
That's it.
Yeah, journey.
That's it. And I think like also just seeing the outpouring of love from friends and family and stuff, like since we kind of like told all of our people, which we did long before we posted it online or anything like that. Just the amount, like, people calling us, crying, so happy for us. I'm like, oh, it feels nice that union is so loved by so many people, and that you know, your friends and everyone is like, yes, which, you know, I kind of knew, and my family are like, she's already a part of the family, obviously. But no, it feels extra special. Our little sisters are probably the most excited of anyone, which is really cute. Yeah, so that's nice.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so we've talked about your significant pieces. Let's stick with the jewellery. Can you remember your earliest jewellery memory?
Yeah, I got my ears pierced when I was like tiny. Yeah. Baby. So I remember I had 2 little like gold things in here, my little chubby self. And also, like, I don't know, like, again, this is a very Caribbean thing, but I had like a tiny baby like signet ring and a little baby gold chain, and I was young. And that's like quite jokes. So yeah, that was a thing. And I was also like the firstborn grandchild, so they dressed me up, and it was the 90s, so the outfits were like excellent and very OTT.
Can we I
had like a
photos,
red
please?
Yeah, I'll show you some. I had like a red crazy dress thing that matched a hat, and I mean lots of big dresses and things, which is quite jokes because I guess I was like the first dolly, you know, essentially the first baby. So yeah, I had they kitted me out from a young age.
Amazing.
To be honest.
Love that. Staying with this, can you think of any like fashion disasters? Are there going to be?
I mean, there probably were several. Like, I mean, one of my friends from secondary school times keeps sending me these awful photos of us going. Like, it's really funny, but like, oh god.
Secondary school, we're kind of fearless, right? We're kind of just like, I say fearless or like experimenting. We're kind of figuring things out.
I'm just like, wow, I've been through. I mean, because there was the phases when like I was wearing like fitted tops and colourful shoelaces, and that was like 11, 12. When I was in primary school, like me and all my friends like to shop in like H&M Boys, so like the t-shirts with the 2 t-shirt, like with the long arms and the short.
2 in 1.
2 in 1. So I've got and like baggy jeans. So I've got some images of that, and then I went to like more the fitted Primark tops and like laces, and then oh my god, honestly, and then it was like the fitted era when your school skirt was like so tight and so short that you can barely see it, and then when you're going into school, you're being told you have to like pull it down because like like your bum is out basically. That was interesting. Why? All of those tight dress, like, which I wouldn't like, you know, now, but like, yeah, I mean, there was so much that was interesting, but I just think it's cute and it's funny, and it's just like where you were in that kind of period, you know. We all looked a bit weird, but we thought we looked amazing.
Talking about those 2-in-1 tops just reminded me, in the millennium, I think my mum gave me this book of like things to write down this year, where you are in your life, and then you bury it, and then, you know, find it. Anyway. And I found it when we moved house. I've lost it again, but it's like my favorite outfit of today, and it was one of those. It was from Gap, and it was like a 2-in-1 top, and I also wore a wool strappy top over the top. So I had 3 tops.
You were layering,
and some corduroy baggy trousers.
Sounds kind of fab.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I was also big into All Saints, so I like the baggy trousers.
Yeah,
and the
All
Timberland
Saints.
boots.
All Saints. Yeah.
As in the band.
Yeah.
Not the shop.
No, not as a No, but that was so, and like Tammy Girl.
Yes.
And like,
or E-Tam as you got a bit older.
Oh, fine. I don't remember the E-Tam.
Yeah, there was Tammy Girl and E-Tam. Fine. Tammy Girl was I would shop in my big sister would be in E-Tam.
And quite a lot of my friends were like a bit punk, so they were wearing there were like catalogs where you could buy big t-shirts and big jeans and looking really gaunt and like, I don't know, it's just funny.
It's great. It's fun to look back.
It is really fun to look back. It is very fun to look back. Like the hairstyles, the makeup, the like, oh God.
I'm also remembering, which maybe I will share a photo. On my last day of school, just thinking about secondary school, I don't know why, but it was when those like those Von Dutch like trucker caps?
Oh, they're back though.
Are they back?
Yeah. I see people
I'll get
wearing
mine out.
Von Dutch caps.
Well, mine wasn't a real Von Dutch cap.
Okay,
it
fine.
was like I probably bought it from Topshop. It was like in that style.
Yeah. No,
And
that's the thing. I think my sister wears like those. So.
But I was wearing there was nothing that looked good about it at all. But
Are you sure? Because
I'm gonna
like if that was today.
I'll bring the photo in. I'll show you. But
I think that's me saying I think they're cool again. I don't know.
As I mentioned, you host the Elle and Nike podcast.
I do.
Which is amazing. And you said you've done how many episodes now?
We've done 2 seasons. I think it's about 14. It might be more. It might actually be more than that. It might be more like 16. But yeah, I hosted season 2 and season 3. Yeah.
And you do a lot of live speaking as well. I've seen you speaking at various events.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of like since the last kind of couple of years. I haven't done as much as normal, but still, yeah. I can speak sometimes. Yeah,
I can speak.
But also, it's quite nice to just be silent for a bit and to have just been like writing.
Yeah,
and like not being too distracted.
Yeah.
By lots of other things, but I do enjoy. I mean, I've done a lot when it comes to the book. Actually, the past couple of years, that's a lie. Me saying I haven't done much. I have done a lot when it comes to that, which was really enjoyable. And also crazy, like going on book tour and stuff. It's like something that I didn't ever envision that I was going to do here and in America. Like,
Amazing.
It feels fab. And I also love interviewing other people about like their books and their work and their creative projects and their films and stuff. I have a newsletter where I interview like a lot of like artists and makers and also write a lot about creativity. And I love that kind of stuff. I like the intimacy of like that newsletter space, and I have a little film club that's like for my newsletter community, and we meet up like every 3 months and I host like a screening. And we did one like last month that everyone was sobbing at the end of it. But I like those kind of like quite just cute and like close.
Before we finish, what's next for you?
Well, I've got like all of these projects in development, so we'll see if any of them actually get made. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
And I have a second book that I'm working on, but I'm very early stages. It's due sometime next year, so I do need to crack on with that. I need to find a good place to set up and write, but that will be. I mean, that probably if I deliver it next year, it won't be out in the world for a while. But yeah, just like writing, making, continuing to think, hopefully hosting more shows and things like that, but just like honestly just spending nice time with people that I love, feeding people that I love, renovating, being a wife maybe soon, be fun. I'm already a wife kinda. yeah, like but just really continuing to be committed to just like happiness. I think is really important. It sounds so simple, but I think it's actually quite huge of a thing to keep working towards. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's been so nice to have you.
Thank you.
Really nice. My cheeks are hurting from just smiling at you so much. It's been so nice. And so nice to finally meet you.
It's been great.
Before we go, which charity have you chosen for us to donate to?
I've chosen the Motor Neuron Disease Association because that is the condition that my dad had, and they're an amazing organisation who I went on their podcast not that long ago to talk about how it impacts different communities differently. I know there's been like a bit more of an awareness with Rob Burrows and, certain high profile people that have had the condition, but it's still like a condition that is so underexplored, underfunded, misunderstood.
Right.
And they do amazing work to try and raise the profile, research. It's, an uncurable, rare genetic disease. And so, yeah, I hope that they can continue to do their work. So it was important to me that I shout them out, and also that's who you guys donate to, and hopefully other people listening will choose to follow as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Liv.
Thank you.
And then finally, we're going to offer the audience a discount code, so you're going to choose your all-time favorite Daisy piece. I think I know what you're going to choose.
We're going to choose the name chain because I have worn it. I've worn it out. So yeah, we're going to choose the name chain. Enjoy.
Fabulous. Okay, so name necklace, you can shop at 20% off. There'll be a discount code in the show notes. Fab. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
It's been
Thank
so
you for
nice.
Me.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
And you.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you for listening to Homegrown Daisy. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and follow us on Instagram so you don't miss a thing.